The following is a class on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 9, Text number 48, given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on 14th June, 1973 in Mayapur.
This full hall would have been compact. This is the difference between India and foreign countries. They are receiving this message of Krishna consciousness very seriously. Here, they are rejecting. The Indians, they are rejecting. There is a proverb, আপন ধন বিলায়ে দিয়ে ভিক্ষা মাগে পরের কাছে. They have lost their own culture and they are now beggars. They are going to beg from door to door in the foreign countries. When I was speaking in Berkeley University, sometimes in the year 1966, one Indian student stood up and he said, Swamiji, what this Krishna consciousness movement will do, we require now technology. So I replied, yes, you are after technology, so you are a beggar. I am not a beggar. I have come here to give something. That is the difference. I have come here to give some culture, and you have come to imitate the Western civilization by technology. That is the difference. You will remain a beggar, I shall remain a giver. That is the difference. So still I am maintaining that position of giving, not taking. Before me, so many Swamijis went there. They did not give, but they took something and came here and advertised themselves as foreign returned sannyasi and exploited the people. They lost even their original dress. Everyone knows I have never changed my dress. Rather, I have given the dress to the foreigners and they have taken it. The Ramakrishna Mission people came to request me that I dress myself in coat, pant, hat. Because they are so-called Swamis, they are dressed in coat, pant, hat. So, this is a culture. This culture is meant for the human society. Fortunately, this culture developed on this land of Bharatvarsha. Unfortunately, the people are so much bewildered that they are giving up this culture. That is the most regrettable portion of our movement. Anyway, my mission was that I shall go to America, and if some of the American boys and girls, younger section, would accept it, then I'll bring them here to show these rascals that how great this culture is. So, portion of the population they are realizing now. Now here is a word, Gandharing cha tapassinim. Gandhari, the wife of Dhritarashtra, he is qualified here with as tapassinim. Tapassini. She was a householder, wife, having children, not only one children, she had 100 sons. But still she is addressed here as Tapasini. Tapasini means one who undergoes austerity. Because this human life is meant for practicing austerity. Human life is not meant for extravagance. Tapasya, tapodivyam, jina, suddhit satya. This is the principle of human civilization. Suddhita satya, existence. Our existence, we are eternal. Every living entity is eternal. But we are subjected to birth and death. Why? Because we are not pure. Just like when you are impure, some disease infects. If you are pure, follow the hygienic principle, you will not be infected. Similarly, this existence, material existence, we, every one of us, part and parcel of Krishna originally, the same purity, qualitatively. The Krishna is the supreme pure, we are also pure, because we are part and parcel of Krishna. Just like a small particle of gold is also gold. The value is gold. It is not iron or something low-grade metal. The same. Similarly, as Krishna, ajopi san abhyatma, in the Bhagavad Gita it is said, Krishna is aja. He never takes birth. Bhutanam Isharopi san, although he is the Lord of all living entities, still by his desire he appears. Our appearance in this material world is also the same desire, but that is not independent. Our desire, who is talking there, he must stop. That person is simply talking camp. Just like these frogs or toads. talking whole day and night, kakaraka. Actually, we have got tongues, and these frogs, they have got also tongue. So, they are using their tongue, kakaraka, inviting snakes. Please come here and eat me. That is their business. Nature's way. See, if we simply talk like the frogs without any Krishna katha, then we are inviting death very soon. So don't waste your time, kokoroko. That is my request. It is our habit, because we are no better than frogs also. We are also living entity, but we have got the chance to stop this kokoroko and chant Hare Krishna. This chance we have got. The frogs, they haven't got that chance. They cannot chant Hare Krishna. That is the difference between the frog and us. Similarly, if we waste our time in that kokoroko, then we are no better than the frog. We are no better than the frogs. So don't make kokoroko when you assemble together. That is my advice. If you have got time, spare time, simply chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. That should be your business. This is tapasya. Tendency is to crow, to make vibration like these frogs. That is our tendency, because we are also conditioned soul. And the frogs or any animal, they are also conditioned soul, conditioned by the material nature. Therefore, tapasya, austerity, is required to nullify, to counteract this conditional state of living. Now you are conditioned, janma mrityu jara vyadhi, dukkha doshanu darshanam. We are conditioned by these four principles: birth, death, old age, and disease. This is our condition. The scientists, rascals, they are trying to improve the condition of living. But what is the improvement? There is death, there is birth, there is old age, and there is disease. No improvement. If you want to improve your condition, if you want to come back to original constitutional position, then tapasya, then you require to undergo austerity. Tapo dibbam jina suddhita satya jato brahma saukham anantam. If you undergo tapasya, therefore we prescribe this tapasya, no illicit sex. Our tendency is to have illicit sex. That is the condition of this material nature. But we have to deny it. That is tapasya. Tendency is there. Tapasya means I have got some tendency, but voluntarily I have to check it. That is called control, tapasya. My tongue is dictating, oh, let us go to some place and eat such and such thing. But if you can control the tongue, no, that is tapasya. No, you cannot eat this. You cannot be allowed to eat anything except Krishna Prasada. That is all. Not that my tongue has dried up, I must drink a cup of tea and I take it. No, it is intoxication, prohibited. So I shall not take it. That is tapasya. And that tapasya, what for? Tapasya dibbam, tapo dibbam. Otherwise, there are many men, they are also undergoing austerities for some material purpose. There are many men who wants to accumulate some money, begins business from low standard, works very hard day and night. In your country there are many examples, just like Mr. Henry Ford. So, that is also tapasya. They underwent severe conditions of life to accumulate some money. After death or at the end of life, they will be called, oh, here is a millionaire. He started his business with a farthing. Now he wants that credit. No, not that kind of tapasya. Because that accumulation of wealth, millions of dollars, will be finished after this body is finished. After death, he cannot take away the millions of dollars with him next life. But they do not know that there is next life. Next life he may become a dog. And what these millions of dollars will help you? That he does not know. Therefore, tapo dibbam. Take austerity penances for reviving your original consciousness, Krishna consciousness. For that purpose you undergo austerity. Otherwise, if you simply undergo austerities, penances, hardship for some material gain, then it is waste of time, defeat, parabhava. Parabhavastavat abodha jata. Because he is a full rascal, he does not know what for hardship should be taken. Just like Hiranyakashipu, he also underwent tapasya. The whole universe became trembled. Brahma came, said, why you are undergoing such severe tapasya? On one finger he stood up and undergoing tapasya. And Brahma came. So what is your purpose of this tapasya? Sir, I want to be immortal. So that is not possible. You cannot become immortal. Then, in so many ways, he wanted to become immortal. What is the purpose of becoming immortal? There are many trees standing for 10,000 of years. That is very successful life, to stand in a place for 10,000 of years without any movement, or prolonging life for many thousands of years. Brahma lives also for many millions of years. So people are misled in this way. They undergo hardship for some temporary gain, which is condemned. Shastra says that if you take hardship, if you undergo tapasya, it must be for realization of God. Tapo dibbam. That will give you permanent happiness. And if you accept hardship for anything material, it may give you temporary so-called happiness, but with the end of your body, everything will be finished. Therefore, this Tapasyini, this Gandhari, Tapasyini, she has been described as Tapasyini. She wanted to be a faithful, chaste wife. What is the result? If a woman becomes faithful, chaste wife, then the next life there is chance of her becoming a male. Because according to Vedic literature, to take birth as woman is low grade. Striya Sudra Tatha Vaishya Jepishu Papajonaya in the Bhagavad Gita. As there are higher grade and lower grade births, so according to Vedic understanding, the woman, the body of woman is lower grade birth. Therefore, if she is fortunate to have a good husband, devotee, and if she becomes faithful to that husband, then her life is successful. That is called tapasya. Gandhari did it. Gandhari in India still, marriage does not take by canvassing all of a sudden. The father and mother, especially in aristocratic family, royal family, even in Western countries, the father and mother selects the husband or wife. Even in England, the King Edward VIII, he was intimately in friendship with a common girl, so the state would not allow him that you can marry a common girl. So at that time the Prime Minister was Mr. Baldwin. He said to him that either you have to give up the company of that common girl or you have to give up this empire. So out of sentiment, he gave up the empire. Later on, he was very sorry. And his second brother, George VI, George VI means the father of the present Queen Elizabeth. So, still this is current in aristocratic family that the husband and wife should be selected by the parents. So Gandhari, she was the daughter of Afghanistan, Kandahar. Still, the name is there, Kandahar, Gandhar. Formerly the name was Gandhar. So Gandhari means the daughter of Gandhar country. So, when she was informed that her would-be husband is a blind man, Dhritarashtra was blind from birth. So, immediately she practiced austerity. Voluntarily, she closed her eyes with cloth. that she would also live as blind. My husband would be blind, so although I am not blind, I must live also as blind. This is the beginning of austerity, Gandhari. So Gandhari was so faithful, one of the most exalted chaste wife mentioned in the Shastras, Gandhari, that in all conditions she followed the husband. At last, when everything was finished in the battle of Kurukshetra, no Kaurava, none of the sons or grandsons of Dhritarashtra was living, neither of the Pandavas. Still, Gandhari was faithfully serving her husband, and Dhritarashtra was living with the nephews, Yudhishthir and his brothers. They were keeping the uncle very comfortably as elder uncle, all respect. But Vidur came there and he criticized him that you have no shame. You all along remained enemy to your nephews. Now your nephews have killed all your descendants and you are living here just like a dog. They are giving you some morsel of bread and you are eating and living here. You have no shame. You have become old. So he became very sorry. My dear brother, what shall I do? Please come immediately along with me and come to the forest. So Dhritarashtra went according to the instruction of Vidur. Gandhari followed. Gandhari never said that I am now old, I have lost my children, these nephews, they are taking care of me, where shall I go with my husband? No, she also went. So there are many good qualities in Mahabharata about Gandhari. Therefore she is described here as Tapasya. Tapasya. Very chaste, faithful wife, ideal wife. Gandhari, Tapasya. What is the part really?
Dhritarashtra and Gandhari, the father and mother of Duryodhana and his brothers, were the elder uncle and aunt of Maharaj Yudhishthir. After the battle of Kurukshetra, the celebrated couple, having lost all their sons and grandsons, were under the care of Maharaj Yudhishthir. They were passing their days in great agony over such heavy loss of life, and were practically living the life of ascetics.
Because he was elder uncle, Yudhishthir Maharaj was coming in the morning to offer obeisances. And one morning when he came, he saw there is no Dhritarashtra and her aunt. He became very much disappointed because he was conscious that they were living in very aggrieved condition. So might be I have offended them, so therefore they have left my home. That is also you'll find. Then Narada came, they don't bother. They have gone to the forest to live as ascetic. Don't try to bring them back. Go on.
The death news of Bhishma Deva, uncle of Dhritarashtra, was another great shock for the king and the queen, and therefore they required solace from Maharaj Yudhishthir. Maharaj Yudhishthir was conscious of his duty, and he at once hurried to the spot with Lord Krishna and satisfied the begrieved Dhritarashtra with kind words, both from himself and the Lord also. Gandhari was a powerful ascetic, although she was living the life of a faithful wife and kind mother. It is said that Gandhari also voluntarily closed her eyes because of the blindness of her husband. A wife's duty is to follow the husband cent per cent, and Gandhari was so true to her husband that she followed him even in his perpetual blindness. Therefore, in her actions, she was a great ascetic. Besides that, the shock which she suffered because of the wholesale killing of her 100 sons, and her grandsons also, was certainly too much for a woman. But she suffered all this just like an ascetic. Gandhari, although a woman, is no less...
Ascetic means who voluntarily suffers all kinds of suffering. Titiksava, the exact word. Titiksava karunika, sridam sarvabhutana, ajata sattarva shanta sadhava sadhu bhusana. Sadhu means that he must be tolerant. Just like Haridas Thakur. You know how much tolerant he was. So titiksa. So titiksa is the qualification of a Brahman. Samadama titiksha, tolerant. You cannot expect any peaceful life in this material world. That is not possible. Therefore, in all conditions, in order to execute Krishna consciousness, we must be tolerant. Tang titikkasa bharat. Krishna advised to Arjuna that there will be some material pleasures and not pleasure, displeasures. So pleasure is also here, displeasure. They do not know. So Krishna advised, Tang titikkasa bharat. Agamopaina anitya. Tang titikkasa bharat. These such things come and go. Don't bother much. Try to become tolerant and execute your own business. Similarly, we live together. There may be some inconvenience. You are brought up in a different standard in Europe and America, and in India. It may be difficult because we haven't got all the facilities, but you learn tolerance. Execute Krishna consciousness. That should be our business. Tang titikkasava. Matra sparshasta konteya. Shitasna sukhadukkada. Agama apaina anitya. Tang titikkasava. So, for life of austerity, Krishna consciousness life means the life of austerity, tapasya. It is not extravagance. So we have to learn titikha. That is one of the qualifications of the Brahman. Then?
Gandhari, although a woman, is no less than Bhishma Deva in character. They are both remarkable personalities in the Mahabharata.
That's all. Hare Krishna.